else is feeling the energy of this Taurus full moon? It was exact a few hours ago, and it's sitting opposite in the sky with the sun and Mercury in Scorpio, which has to do with like the mind, Mercury bringing up things in Scorpio, like the shadow parts of ourselves and aspects that aren't serving us anymore, you know. And it's a really, really deep, intense time. It's interesting because there was a Mercury eclipse today, and you wouldn't be able to see it unless you had, you know, eclipse glasses, and not everywhere visible on the planet. But Mercury would have, it's called the Cazimi point when it crosses the sun. And this Mercury and Sun is also opposite Uranus and Taurus. So Taurus has to do about values. I'm seeing themes of people speaking about relationship issues coming up, where they're seeing parts of themselves that they didn't see before and ruminating over past things, how things possibly could have been but weren't, you know. And the reality is we all have things to uncover about ourselves, but that's not comfortable, and that's not work that most people want to do. I have really deep Scorpio on my chart, so for me it's like I love to dive deeply because I think that's where the best jewel comes from. And you want to liken it to a diamond that's really like a piece of charcoal first, right? And it gets pressurized and it's kind of forced to turn into this brilliant jewel. And so yeah, diving into the muck, into the shadows is where the jewels are. And there's such flashes of insight now. It's just really to be aware of what pops into your mind. You're going to be thinking things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before. Good to journal and be aware of maybe dream time. We have Neptune aspecting this as well, so that's dreams and could be illusions. It could be escapism too. A lot of people, you know, with strong Neptunian can escape. I get that. I have Neptune in the first house, so I could try to escape into something, but I've been really present lately and it's felt really good. It's just such an intense time. We're in the 1111 portal today. And there's so much that needs to be healed, like in humanity. You know, it's interesting. I had a girlfriend post a picture of her ex and me when we did this dance event in Mount Shasta about 6 years ago. And how she realizes that her need for freedom and just the need for her freedom and, you know, the fear of getting too close made her run away. And now she's got, you know, I can see there's pain around that. You know, there's probably some regret around that. Because what was being offered, she wasn't ready to accept. She maybe hadn't cleared out some stuff that would have allowed her to accept that kind of love, that, you know, deep love that was being offered. Like, I get it. I've been there too, but I wasn't the one in fear, you know. And if you don't clear the shadows, you're not going to be ready for the jewels that are presented to you. It's just, you just can't see it because you see it as a projection of your own shit and you push the person away. You know, and that has to be cleared. The funny thing is I hear people too saying, oh, well, you know, she's just like that, or that's how he is. And the reality is, as humans, we're a tribal culture. We come in with attachments to our mothers. We come in as core groups. If you want to go way back to, like, you know, the caveman times, we survived as a tribal society. And only when we started getting into different ages, like the Renaissance, the industrial age, or even times before that, when society started shifting, we started living in our own homes and kind of branching off from that. But innately, it's our desire and our it's just how we are. We're tribal. We work best in groups and with intimacy. But when there's something that happens in childhood that ruptures that, then we form these attachment styles that take away the ability to be in deep, intimate relationship without a ton of trauma around it, you know? And you can't do anything about that until you actually are aware of that. So what's super powerful about this full moon today in Taurus, it has to do with your values. What do you value? What are you going to allow in? What feels really good to you? Because now with Scorpio opposite, with Mercury and the Sun, it's about clearing out all the things that don't feel good to you, that are not working, that are not allowing you to be who you truly are. And who you truly are is not, it's not the mind, who you think you are. It's in your heart and soul who you truly are before those ruptures happened. You know, and that's where the deep intimacy comes in. So this is a really potent time. I hope you're all breathing through it. For me personally, it's in my 7th house of relationship, this full moon. And my Mercury sits there. So this full moon is like right on my Mercury. And Mercury and the Sun are right on my Neptune. And Neptune is on my Saturn. and Venus is on my south node. So there's major upgrading going on for me. And I am so excited about it. Like I feel that something huge is going to pop, you know. And when I came home before and saw that post on my page, I'm like, wow, I felt her pain because I lived the other side of that and I get it. Like I've always said I will not live a life of regret. I will freaking throw everything I have into the ring when I find someone I love or there's a move somewhere. Like I did that too to California with my ex-husband. He was very, very apprehensive. And I said to him, what if we don't go? What if 20 years from now we sit back and go, I wonder what it would have been like in California. I'm like, I don't know about you, but I can't live like that. I can never live with regrets or what ifs. So let's just go for it. And so, you know, I prodded him and he said yes. And now he loved it. He's a fire captain for Cal Fire. He's remarried. He freaking loves it. You know, yeah. So no what ifs for me. I'm jamming on this full moon. And I hope you guys are jamming on it too and knowing that whatever's going to unfold through this portal and into the eclipse season at Christmas and January 11th and 12th is what's going to be the best thing for you. There's no going back into the old shit, you know? If things can't be restructured from the highest form of the soul and not the ego, then it's not going to work, you know? Love is love. Love doesn't know, well, you can have boundaries, but love doesn't know fear. Love is the opposite of fear. Love isn't practical, or it's a reason why we can't do this because that doesn't seem right to this person in society, or it's too hard. Well, if it's too hard, then you're really kind of maybe closed off, you know? I would hate to be pinched off. I can't even imagine what that would feel like. No thanks. All right, you guys. Before I start rambling, I hope you are getting through this energy okay, and just breathe deeply if you're having a hard time. Just knowing that it's all going to shift for the highest for you. Blessings.